see when I see Tessa? I see an angry, entitled, spoiled brat.
At Rebellion, all I was gonna do is beat Gail and expose her for the fraud that she is.
What a vision! A vision of beauty, a vision of violence. Tessa Blanchard.
Pressing charges is not going to teach her a lesson. I am.
Tessa has no one to blame but herself. She made the critical error of getting physical with the former multiple-time knockout champion, Gail Kim.
Gail just couldn't wait to make it personal. But that's fine. If Gail wants to do that, she wants to play those games, yeah, I can make it personal too.
Is she the next Knockouts champion? Grace Driver, shoulders down. She got her. She got her. Jordan Grace is the #1 contender.
Look out, she is losing it.
It's Gail Kim. And Gail Roger. Gail gets some payback.
Wow!
I am the biggest star that you have in this company, and this is how you treat me?
You got a week suspension, so go figure out how to conduct yourself.
You're gonna apologize for getting me suspended? You're gonna apologize for attacking me? And you're gonna apologize for costing me my knockout championship. It is time for you to officially announce your resignation from Impact Wrestling.
Earlier tonight, I gave my resignation.
I'm not sorry that I will never have to see your face around here again.
I'm coming out of retirement to kick your ass!
Gail Kim is back. The Hall of Famer is rocking Tessa Blanchard.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tommy Lee Raw. I'm here with the Gail Kim, Impact Wrestling. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to do this, Gail.
Of course. For a fellow Korean, come on.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll definitely get into that too. First of all, how excited are you coming to your hometown, Toronto, ready to perform?
I was actually, when they told me it was going to be Toronto, because I actually didn't know. I didn't know because we're going to Philly next. I was excited because my friends and family, of course, can be here to support me, and my nephews. I don't think that they have a clear memory of me wrestling because they were so young. So it's going to be a really good chance for them because they love wrestling now, that they get to see their auntie in action. Yes.
So you must have a lot of friends and family tickets. They're going to be there to see you in action.
I hope so. I mean, everyone so far has said they're going to come, but it's going to be. I have such high expectations for myself, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. So that's the only thing been consuming my mind, right? So I'm excited though.
About the match, you're coming out of retirement, this one time against Tessa Blanchard. How excited are you performing in front of your hometown?
It's more, I'm excited and I'm nervous because I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I have expectations to not only have the best match of the night, but I always aim for match of the year, right? And women's wrestling is just so strong right now, and even from the time that I retired, it's changed a lot. It's a lot more high-paced action, and I think it's going to be interesting to see the different generations of wrestling collide and see how that, comes out, because it's a very physically demanding, almost acrobatic, crazy, almost like stunt work if you watch it at times, right? And so my generation wasn't as much as it is now, so it's going to be cool. I think we're going to tell a really good story to the audience, and I think they're going to enjoy it.
Well, myself included, like I remember back in the day you were in TNA, and my best friend is a huge wrestling fan, and it's like, wow, I think there's a wrestler that's from South Korea, and she's one of the top stars. And I became a huge fan, so like it was exciting to see. Like I have to ask, where did this passion come from to become a wrestler?
I think with wrestling, the wrestling business, I always say when you watch a new student come in and, take their first fall or their first hit or whatever it is, whether they're going to last or not. 99% of the time, because it's a very physically demanding business. And if you can't hack it, I mean, you're not going to last very long. And I think all of us know that. And I always loved it. And I just knew from the very first day that I was in the wrestling school, it was that special feeling that I knew I had my goal in mind and I was going after it, and nothing was going to stop me.
Absolutely. And you had an amazing career. There's so many. I know this is a loaded question, Gail. You wrestled TNA, WWE, Impact Wrestling, Independent Circuit. Is there a match that you think you're most proud of in your illustrious career?
Yeah, I would say there's two matches that top the list for me, and they were both so different. And one was as a bad guy, and one was as a good guy. One was with Awesome Kong, back when wrestling. I mean, I think people already found us different because they had never seen like a David and Goliath type women's feud before. They had never seen someone like Awesome Kong of her stature and her skill, and someone who wasn't necessarily at that time like the model type that you had been accustomed to seeing, the eye candy, and she was so different and so good. I think that caught the attention of the fans. And then when we actually were given some time to go wrestle, and people were intrigued, and that was including the Jeff Jarretts who were running the company. That's why we got the opportunity there. They really liked what they were seeing, that it was so different. And so I'm just so thankful for that opportunity. We had a match at a pay-per-view called Final Resolution. It was a no disqualification match. And honestly, I just remember the crowd going, "Let's go Gail, let's go Kong," for the first while of the match. And by the end of them, we had them, and that feeling to get the fans right where you want them, it's indescribable.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that with us, Gail. And Gail, I heard you're got inducted to TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame. How was that emotionally and
Oh, emotionally, it's almost like not a relief. I don't know. It's a satisfying feeling to know that you're recognized by just not only your peers and your fans and everyone that recognizes your body of work. For me, when I got into this business, people would always ask me, "What was your goal? Like, what do you want to accomplish here?" And I always said, "I want to be known as one of the best female wrestlers in the world." And in the history of wrestling, and that was always my goal. So that's what I strive for, and I hope that is how people think of me. Yeah.
Absolutely. And let's have to ask any wrestlers that you looked up to.
Oh, yeah. Initially because Trish was a hometown girl, and I had followed fitness and fitness modeling and all that stuff. I knew she was from Toronto. I saw her make it into WWE, WWF at the time, and I thought, wow, there's no Asian girls. I'm different at least. And she was kind of that first inspiration. And then I saw what the girls were doing, and they were so athletic at that time. And Molly Holly was just so different, and she moved like the men, like so graceful and athletic. And that's when I said, oh, she's my favorite. And I love that she wasn't also, the typical girl that we saw at that time, and just so talented. And a great human being. She's the one that gave me my opportunity in this business, right?
So was it Molly Holly?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. So she saw me at an event, and she said, "Well, you have a very unique and different look, and why don't you give me your stuff, and I'll pass it on to the office." And she did, And at that time, it was kind of a rare thing for. You didn't hear about women helping other women so much because it was a very cutthroat business, but she was one of the people that set an example for me on how to behave in this business and what to do for others. Yeah.
Molly Holly, a great wrestler herself.
Really great.
I've noticed that being like both of us, I can relate, being from the South Korean heritage. How was it like? Was it a challenge to try, like, for instance, like my parents, like most Korean parents, want their kids to be a lawyer, doctor.
Yeah.
Was it a challenge to try to get your parents and your family on board with the career decision?
No, I just kept them in the dark. I didn't tell them.
I would have done the same thing.
But I was always the son that my dad never had, right? Because I was the tomboy. And so he always wanted me, he became obsessed with golf because, Koreans love golf, right? They love golf. So he wanted me to become a professional golfer, but he wanted me to start at like 15 or 16. And I said, that's too old. Like Tiger Woods started at 3 or something like that. And then he loved boxing, and I never really loved that. And then so I thought, oh, he would like this. He would like me doing wrestling, and he did. I just, they don't really say much about it. They're proud of me, but it's not, I don't know. I don't really know what they think. They must think I'm just crazy. I mean, really.
Well, like, I would understand, like, myself trying to be a sportscaster, they're looking at me like, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you be like your brother, a doctor? And I find that, you've absolutely had a much more illustrious career than I have.
Well, you're just starting. You're just starting. You're going for your next goal, right?
But
Yeah.
I think, being from the Korean heritage, now they look at you. Am I thinking that, wow, you know what, this is actually, Gail making a great decision for herself.
Yeah, and I think us being Korean makes us different, which is a good thing. Like I think at first when I got into the company, I didn't know. I was always trying to find like, who am I supposed to be? Who do they want me to be? And I almost felt like they didn't want me to be Asian. And then in the end of it all, I realized me being Asian and Korean is special, and that it did make me stand out. And that's how people remember me, and also for the work that I put in, right? So just got to embrace everything about yourself and what you have to offer, because I tried to do that and be what other people expected me to be, and it never worked. Never worked.
Gail, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with your match, Tessa.
Thank you.
And this is
I appreciate it. It's a big one.
definite honor here. It is the one and only Gail Kim.
Thank you.
Tommy Lee, signing off. Thank you very much, Gail. If it's okay, just take it off.